Let me guess. You clicked on this video because you've heard so much about Notion. Everyone keeps talking about how great Notion is, but you have no idea what it's about or where to start. Well, this video is for you. By the end of this video, you will know how to create a Notion account. You also understand Notion blocks and how to use them to build your own workspace. And most importantly, even as a beginner, you'll be able to build an organized workspace with Notion databases. So stick around till the end. And if you find this video helpful, please do not forget to like and subscribe. I am currently on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers before the year ends. So your support means a lot. Now, what exactly is Notion? I want you to think of it like a notebook. So just as you jot down your thoughts in a journal, Notion works the same way but digitally. It's a place where you can write down your thoughts, your ideas, your plans. But then you might be wondering, why should I use Notion when apps like Google Docs can do the same thing? Well, the difference is that unlike traditional apps where your ideas are spread across multiple documents and folders, Notion lets you organize everything on a single page. So this keeps everything structured and makes it easier for you to find things. So whether you are a student, an entrepreneur, or a professional, Notion is a powerful tool that will help you stay organized and productive. Now, to create an account with Notion, in your browser, type notion.so. Once the site opens, click on Get Notion Free to start with the free plan. You will then see different sign-up options listed. For me, I like to just choose Continue with Google since it's faster that way. So now, what do you want to use Notion for? Is it for work, for your personal life, or for school? Whichever one fits your need, just go ahead and choose that one and then complete the processes. Now, once your account is created, you will land on a Welcome to Notion page. Now, this page is like a mini tutorial that introduces you to the basics of how Notion works. You can choose to, explore it if you prefer, or just skip it and start setting up your own workspace. Let me give you an overview of how to use Notion's features. Now, in the left sidebar, click here to create a new page. To make your workspace look more appealing, you can add a cover image. So click on Add Cover, and then Notion will automatically apply a default one for you. Now, if you want to replace it, click on Change Cover. You have several options. You can upload an image from your device, you can pick one from Notion's gallery, or search for a specific image using Unsplash. If you don't like the position of the image, click on Reposition, and then hold down your mouse and drag to adjust. Once you're happy with the placement, click on Save Position. So I want you to note that Notion does not use traditional folders like other apps. Instead, it organizes content using nested pages. So it means that every page in Notion can contain other pages. And this works like a folder system, but is more flexible. Alright, let's demonstrate that. Go to the page name where you want to add a page inside. Then click on the plus button. Let's call it Subpage. Now, once we open the page, you would notice that the subpage is now added inside the main page, which is my first Notion page. So just repeat the process to keep adding nested pages. Now, let's talk about one feature that makes Notion super flexible, and that's Notion blocks. Everything you add to a page is a block, whether it's text, images, or even an entire database. But then, why does this matter? That's because you are not stuck to a single way of organizing your content. You can easily rearrange them or even link that block content to another page. Now, let's start with the most basic one, which is text. To add text, simply click anywhere on the page and start typing. If you want to see all the available block types, just press the / key on your keyboard and it will bring up a list of all the blocks you can use in Notion. If we scroll through, you will see different options like text for writing notes and ideas, headings to structure content with titles, lists, columns, and so many others. Now let's add a heading to see how it works. You can use headings to structure your content so that it's easy to read. To add an image, do the same thing. Press the / key and select image. You can also type out image to make the search faster. Now, select upload file if you want to add an image from your device. You notice how big the image is. So to resize the image, click on its edges and hold down your mouse, then drag to adjust. You can also change the alignment. So click on the image and select an alignment option. Now to format a text in Notion, simply highlight the text and choose from the following options. You can bolden it by clicking on the B symbol. You can also italicize it. You can underline. You can also change the text color. Just click on the A symbol and then select your preferred color. Now let's say you need to format a text in mathematical notation. Just highlight the text as well and then click on the formula symbol. Then you notice how it has changed the format. Remember we said we can link pages. Now let's highlight this text block and then click on the link button. That's the one that looks like a chain. Search for the page you want to link to and select it. This way you can easily navigate between related pages within your workspace. Now if you click on the link, you find out that it will take us to the simple weekly planner page that we just linked to. Now let's repeat the process to create an external link. Let's say you want to link to your website. Now in the box that appears, just type or paste in the address. Now once you are done doing that, if you hover on it, you find out that it is now a clickable link to your website. Now to create a to-do list, press the / key as well. Type to do and select the to-do list option. Now what this does is that it will create a checklist where you can tick off tasks as you complete them. So let's say one of the things you want to do for that day is read your books. So once you've done that, you can just go there and tick it off. Now let's demonstrate how we can move blocks around. If you don't like the position of a particular block, you can move it to a different position. So simply hover over the block and click on the 6 dot that appears on the left. Then drag and drop it wherever you want. This makes it easy for you to rearrange your content. Now that we've learned how to use Notion blocks, let's take a look at this simple workspace. Like I said, this workspace is actually very basic, but by the end of this video, you will see why this setup is not the most efficient and what you can do to improve it. So now let's add a sub page. We'll call this page for personal use. Now let's add a cover image. So inside the personal use page, we have the daily to-do list section where you can write down all the tasks that you want to carry out each day, so that as soon as you complete each of them, you can just simply check it off. So that way it helps to manage your tasks. It also has a section for personal goals that you want to achieve each month. You'd notice that it's a running list. So whatever goal you want to achieve each month, you can just go there and add to the list that you already have. Also, it has inspirational notes to keep you motivated. It also contains quick links to frequently visited sites or channels. Now, if you have ever had to scroll endlessly just to find one note, the truth is that's exactly what you are likely to experience using something like this, because right now everything is in one long list. So as you keep adding more, it will get even harder to manage. So we're going to see how we improve this using Notion database. For a bigger space, click on that double backward arrow to close the sidebar. Now let's add our database. Press the / key and type database. And then if you scroll down, notice that you see several options for how you want to view your database, like table view, list view, board, calendar, and many more. But let's choose table view because it will give us this row and column format, and it will be easy for us to add all our tags and then categorize them afterwards. So we'll call this database daily tags tracker. By default, the first column is already set as a title property, so this is where we'll list all our tags. Now let's name it morning routine since we are focusing on morning tags. Now let's add a column for category. To add a column, click on the plus button next to the previous column. In the box that opens, type in select. Now we are using the select property because we want to be able to add in a list of options to categorize each task. Let's rename it as category. Now click on add an option to start listing out the categories. So type in an option that you want. Once you put in the option you want, click enter and add another. Then repeat the process for as many categories as you would like to add. Now, if we scroll down, you will see all the options that you have added highlighted in different colors. Now, you can also choose to change the color if you do not like the one that was used. Now, let's change self-care to yellow. Notice that the color has changed. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's add another column for priority so that we can easily place a level of importance for each task. Also use the select property for this because we're still going to be adding options. So now we're going to add our options now. The first one we'll add is low because we want to write out the level of importance for each particular task. So we'll also add medium and high, and then scroll down. Then you see all the options that you've added. You can change the color as well if you like. And here you have it. Now let's add another column to track tasks that we have completed. We're going to be using the checkbox property for this. Now type checkbox, click on it, and then let's rename it as completed. Now let's add some tasks under the morning routine column. You can also choose to add icons or emojis to represent each task. So if for instance you choose to use an emoji, in the search bar you can just type the name of the emoji that you want, and then once it comes up, you select it. While we add in the tags, let me quickly tell you something cool about Notion databases. Each row where we are adding the tags is actually a separate page where you can store more details. So if you hover over a row, you see an open button. Now, having clicked on this one, notice that the tags expanded into a full page view where you can add more content. You can add notes, you can add embedded files, any content that you want to add, you can do so. So a database is actually a collection of pages. Now, any changes that you make inside the page automatically updates in the main database view and vice versa. So now, once I add an emoji for this, as well as a title for the tags, notice that it will reflect on the page. And you also notice that all the properties that we set earlier, like category, priority, and completed, they're also available inside the page. Next, let's choose a category for each task. So as you click on the row, you will see the options you added previously, so you can choose from. Now, in this case, we want to add mindfulness as the category, but we did not include it in the options before, so you can add it directly here, and you notice that it has automatically been added amongst the options. Let's also pick the priority for each task. And once you've completed a task, go under completed and tick. Let's see how we can easily find things in a database without scrolling too much. For this example, let's sort the tasks based on priority. So click on sort and then choose priority column. Now you notice that it has sorted out tasks with the highest priority first down to the lowest. Now let's see how we can filter by category. Click on filter and select category, then choose the category. In this case, you notice that it has brought out only the tasks that are categorized as health and wellness. The good thing is that you can view your database in various ways. So click on these three dots, select layout. Now let's see how board view will look like. You'd notice that board view arranges everything based on priority. So you can check out other viewing styles as well. Notion makes it possible for us to collaborate with others in real time. So let's say you want to share this workspace with someone else. Click on share and then type in the person's email address. Afterwards, this is where you want to be careful. If you click on invite now, you are giving the person full access. If that is what you want, then go ahead and do so. But if you just want the person to edit, then click on can edit. If you just want the person to comment, click on can comment. If you just want the person to view, click on can view before hitting on invite. But let's say you've already given the person full access before you realize, you can still come down here, click on the drop down, then select the right permission based on what you want. Now that you know how to create a Notion workspace, what will you build first? If you found this video helpful, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share with others. Thank you so much for watching.